Please welcome from Yahoo, Blake Irving.
So you're talking about people versus data, right? This is the people versus data conference, effectively, right? That's the subject. So here's a pretty good example of people versus data. I don't know how many of you know that this actually took place, but there was an amazing Jeopardy battle between basically a Hadoop grid, and Hadoop is an open source technology actually pioneered by Yahoo, and this was done by IBM on top of Hadoop, and that little center contestant who blew these other guys out of the water, and they were the best, shows that you can really do a lot with technology. And I for one welcome our new computer overlords. For those of you who are a Simpsons fan, you'll know that this is Kent Brockman, who's commenting on some of the giant ants that showed up in the space shuttle. And maybe you haven't seen that one, but it's really good if you get a chance. So, dichotomies, not like people versus data, remind me of other dichotomies as well. Content versus advertising, offline versus online, analog versus digital, print versus TV, alien versus predator, chocolate versus peanut butter, those kinds of things. I like to describe the catalyst as advertisers having a bigger windshield than a rear view mirror, which honestly isn't the way we all operate today. I was having a conversation with Chris Anderson of Wired magazine, and he was saying to create a really rich and engaging application on top of a tablet takes roughly 7 months. So you have to get to the point where you can do it on a monthly basis, just like you're doing with your print advertisement. Small publishers that I'm going to dispel sort of, you got head content and you have tail content. You have this stuff in the middle that I'm going to call torso, and it's enthusiast magazines. And if I use it as an example, a company called Source Interlink that has roughly 200 magazines, among them Surfer Magazine, Motor Trend, like 10 different tuner car magazines, lots of enthusiast magazines. There's no way that the amount of energy that they can just pour into engineering a system or getting their content over to a system, that they can do it unless there's some sort of pro services group that's helping them do it, and there's a publishing backend that allows them to do it easily. You can't say there's PCs and then there's mobile. And mobile's going to be kind of just like PCs. We're going to go make things happen, and it'll be all the same stuff. It has to be treated differently by you and by us. The way that you're going to interrelate with a customer, the way a customer is going to experience your brands are going to be emotional. There's a chance to be as emotional on this device as there is on a TV. And you've got to take advantage of it. We're going to be. We're going to be doing that with our content. The content that we publish will be much richer than it will be on a PC. We know that's what folks want. We know that's what advertisers want. We know that's what publishers want. So we're at an inflection point. Advertising's always been content. And content's been advertising. However, on the PC, for companies like Yahoo, it hasn't been treated so much like that. We believe we're at this inflection point where we can capture the imagination of a consumer with rich, emotive imagery that changes the game completely, and they can interact with it digitally, and I mean these digits. It's different. With this data, with the data that we have on personalizing our back end, and I'll just be very, very precise on what I mean by that. Yahoo actually has a very big infrastructure in our back end that allows us to do deep personalization at an astounding level. 640 million folks see a different homepage every time they come to the website. We changed that website, if you can believe, the yahoo.com page, 35,000 times every 5 minutes, 13 million different pages a day. That type of personalization changes the game on a device like this, and you could actually do some of that deep personalization about content that I'm talking about. The next 18 months are going to be absolutely wild. for this device. The growth is going to be phenomenal. The way that people are going to interact with this device is going to change the way we think about TV. And this is not a competitor to TV. This is better than TV. And I leave you with that. Thanks.